Welcome to the Bettendorf Public Library's Take-Home Workshop. This month, we're making these lovely decorations. We call them honeycomb hearts. These are really simple, and you can do them in different shapes. They're really effective in a big circle as well, or in little circles, and we're doing a heart-shaped one today. In our kit, you'll see 2 sheets of paper, one pink and one white, a length of ribbon that we'll use for the hanger for our little heart-shaped ornament, and a glue stick. What we're asking you to provide is a pencil, a paper clip or tape or some way of holding your glued paper together, and a pair of scissors. And that's all you need. Our first step is going to be cutting the hearts. So to do this, we're going to fold our paper in half lengthwise. And then we're going to take our outer edges and fold them back again to the center. We're going to do that on both sides. Just like that. So we're going to want to get 4 hearts from this. So when we cut it, it will be a total of 8. So we'll get 4 from this fold and 4 from this fold. So I'm going to just crease my paper a little bit so I see where the halfway point is, and then crease it again, if I can, to get another halfway point, just to get kind of an idea of how big my heart is going to be. Now, if you wanted to measure these out, you absolutely can. Now, I'm just going to draw my heart. And I like my hearts kind of fat. And I want a pretty deep V at the top. So I'm going to do one and I'm going to cut it out. And then this one will be the template for all the rest. You always have the option of coming into the Creation Studio and using our Cricut or our Silhouette to cut your shapes. We also have a heart-shaped die for our die cutter, and you can always use that as well. And that's available to you any of the hours the library is open. So there we have our heart. So I am just going to trace this 3 more times. Then I will cut these out. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing with my pink sheet of paper, where I fold it in half, fold it in quarters, trace, and cut. While we're cutting, let's talk a little bit about what you can do with our honeycombs. So we're going to be putting a ribbon down the middle of ours, and so you can hang them like ornaments. You could make a lot of them and of varying sizes and fill a glass vase as a centerpiece. You could again make them in different sizes or even the same size and attach them to a wreath form and make a wreath. You can do garlands. Anything that you could use balloons for could also be used. These could also be used for that. So they're actually very versatile because you can make them in whatever colors you want. You can make them in whatever sizes you want, and any sort of a symmetrical shape would also work for this. I do find that rounder shapes work better. I did one with a star and it turned out it was a little harder to see the shape. So a simple kind of curved shape is best. I have my shapes all cut out. And for some of them that have a few more pencil marks on them, I'm going to erase those pencil marks. And I've put down a plastic sheet on my work surface because I don't want to get glue on my work surface, and it is time for gluing. So our first step is we are going to glue inside each heart. We're going to open each heart up. We're going to put a line of glue just below the center point. So it'll go right there. And you want to start in the middle, but you don't want to go all the way out to the outer edge. So just like that. And we're going to close that up. And we're going to let that glue. And you can just, put these under a heavy weight or something like that too, but I just do them and tuck them into a paper clip. We're going to go ahead and do that with all 16 of these, pink and white. Once those are all glued and secured in some way, under a heavy book, in your hand, with a paper clip, however you choose to do it, I'm going to set those down and just let them go for 10 minutes or so. Make sure that that glue is dry, and then we'll come back. Our glue is dried, and now it's time to assemble the next step. So to do this, we're going to alternate our colors. And I find that multiple colors make the honeycomb more effective. The honeycomb effect more effective. So we're doing 2 colors. You can do as many as you want. What you want to do though is have an even number of sections, because once you open this back up again, if you have an even number, let's say in the example that we're doing here, with an even number, then it will continue your pink-white alternation. If we had an odd number, then we would have like 2 pinks together or 2 whites. So if you have an even number of pieces, then your colors can cycle through seamlessly. And if you have more colors, it's the same thing, so long as it's an even number. So this one has 10 pieces in it, 2 of each color. I started with the red and the blue, but so as I brought it around, your red and your blue match up again. So it keeps that color rotation going. How many pieces you have will depend on how densely you want your honeycomb to be, perhaps how big your honeycomb is. So a smaller piece like this might need fewer pieces. So our next step is we're going to glue these together. So our first step, we glued each heart on the inside with a line of glue right up here. Now we're going to do on the outside, I'm going to kind of line those up, and we're going to do it towards the bottom. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to go from the center out to the edge, but we're not going to go all the way out to the edge. And you can measure this if you want, or you can just eyeball it if you want. So I'm going to go about there, and I'm going to try and stay consistent. And then we're just going to stack these up and do the next one. So if we alternate correctly, when this is done, we'll have white on one side and pink on the other. Now I'm going to put my paper clip back on here, or your heavy book, or your tape, or rubber band, or whatever you're using. And again, we're going to let that sit for 5-10 minutes until that glue is dry. Once our glue is dry, we take our support off, and then you can see how well your honeycomb is going to work. We're just going to open this up. And wrap it around. And it's lovely. It turned out really well. So to finish this off, we're going to do that last gluing, which will be oops, I have 2 of them there, which will be one of the bottom ones. But we also want to put our ribbon in the center. So for a ribbon, I gave you 12 inches. We're just going to put 2 ends together and put a little knot in there. On our spine, our folded edge, so that'll be the center of our design, we're going to put in kind of a lot of glue. So we smear it all the way down on all of those spines. And we're going to lay our ribbon on there. And I do it so that the knot is coming out the bottom, but you don't have to. You can bury the knot on the inside. You can put the knot at the very, very top, whatever you prefer. I'm going to add another layer of glue on top of that ribbon. Then I'm going to put my glue on that bottom like we did all the rest of those. And then we're going to take those outer pieces and wrap them around, and they're going to stick. Just like that. I'm going to take my paper clip and slide that back in there to hold that. And then in a few minutes when that's dry, your heart is done. So again, think about creative ways you can use this, creative shapes. You could do 4-leaf clovers maybe for St. Patrick's Day. You could do them in school colors and use those to decorate buffet tables or other decorations for graduation parties. Anything that you, like I said, anything you would use balloons for, you could do this and do it in those colors. We want to see your honeycomb hearts, so please share them with us on social media, and we'd like to thank the Bettendorf Public Library Foundation for sponsoring this take-home workshop.